What's going on, guys? Back at you guys with another presentation. Um, you know, one thing that I can say in my life is that I think about a lot of things that my grandparents taught me growing up and a lot of the wisdom that they instilled in me and a lot of the knowledge that they gave me. And my grandparents told me a lot of real things. They did. They did their best. My grandparents pretty much raised me growing up. And one thing my grandparents told me that's so real. It's good that they told me this, but this is not totally true. You know, my grandparents always told me that things will unfold for you in life by being a good person. And I'm not saying my grandparents were wrong for telling me this. Sometimes, people they tell kids things, because they want to steer them in the right direction and they want to keep them out of trouble. Um, my grandparents, um, they were wrong. I can honestly admit they were wrong telling me that if you're a good person, that everything that you want in life is gonna come to you and everything's gonna work out for your good. Now, I think they were just telling me this growing up because they wanted to keep me out of the penal system. They didn't want to see me going down the wrong path. And a lot of parents, they don't want to see their kids go down the wrong path. They want their kids to go in the right direction, which is understandable. And I think this is why my grandparents always told me to be a good person. But when you really think about the real world and you really think about how people really are in this world, being a good person really doesn't get you anywhere in this world. Being a good person gets you used, gets you abused, gets you walked on, gets you disrespected by people. Um, it's better to be a evil person than a good person. My father told me that, and that's very true, because people think that you're a weak person when you have a good heart and you have good intentions and you do the right thing. People think you're weak, but see, this is where people get it wrong. People are so good at assuming things. You make an A out of yourself when you assume things. Um, just because a person uh, doesn't get mad or doesn't have an aggressive type of persona, don't think they won't bust your head and don't think they won't get in your behind. See, that's where people get it twisted. A person might be kind, a person might be nice, a person might be, respectful or whatever, but don't think just because a person is nice and kind that they won't get in your behind. Because see, a person that's nice and kind, you think that they soft and you think that you can run over them. But if you was to really piss them off, you'll be in for the shock of your life. You'll mess around and get your head bust. See, a lot of people think because a person is nice or kind that they're a pushover. Don't think because a person is nice and kind that they're a pushover. Because like I stated, you'll be in for the surprise of your life. You know? Uh my grandparents, they always told me to be a good person. But when you really think about it, there's no reward in being a good person. No one cares about you being a good person. People think you're weak and docile when you're a good person. If I was a parent, I would just tell my kids, be vigilant and be discerning when it comes to people. I wouldn't teach my kids to be no a-hole, but I wouldn't teach my kids to be no nice person either. I would just teach my kids to be discerning when it come to people, because you got a lot of people that act like they down for you, but they really not down for you. They really a wolf in sheep clothing. That's why you got to have discernment when it come to dealing with folks. My grandparents, they told me a lot of real things growing up. They gave me a lot of wisdom and knowledge. They was always telling me to be this good person. And I used to really believe that if you're a good person, everything that you want in life will come to you. That's not true. In all honesty, in this world, it's better to be an evil person than to be a good person. That's the truth. Women they're not going to ever admit this to men, but women love evil men. Women don't like a man who have good qualities. Most women ain't going to never be honest and admit this. And this is the reason to why women choose the worst kind of men. Women, they lie about this, but they know they don't like men with good qualities either. See, this is an evil, corrupted world. And one thing I had to learn and understand in this world, being a good person, it's not going to get you nowhere. All it's going to get you is used, abused, disrespected, and walked on in this world. And my grandparents, they meant well when they were raising me and giving me a lot of wisdom. They meant well, but telling me to be a good person was a bad idea. They were wrong about that. Because being a good person is not going to get you no rewards in this world. People think you're dumb when you're a nice person. If you're nice and kind, you go out of your way to be respectful to people, do right by people, they think you dumb. They really do. But, I know my grandparents meant well, but they were wrong about this because you be a nice person in this world. Being a nice person could cause you to get killed, because you can be nice to the wrong people and it can cause you to get lined up in this world. That's why I had to understand that it's better to be a bad person than to be a good person in this world. This is why I no longer go out of my way trying to be nice, trying to be kind to folks. I'm cordial. I don't believe in being an a-hole. I'm cordial, but I don't go out of my way trying to extend myself to people anymore. My grandparents, they told me a lot of real stuff. I'm not going to discredit anything that my grandparents taught me growing up because they told me a lot of real stuff. But they were wrong telling me that if you be a good person, son, everything that you want in life will come to you, because that's not true. This is an evil world full of evil people. And in this world, it's better to be an evil person than to be good. Women will never admit that they like men who are evil because all they care about is looks. See, that's the one thing that a woman would never admit. Women will never admit all we care about is looks. We don't care about a man's interpersonal qualities. That's why we always choose thugs and dudes who have criminal records, because all we care about is looks and money. That's all women care about. But you know what? The sad part about it all? Women will never be honest about that. They'll never be honest and admit all we care about is looks and money. All we care about is looks, money, Givenchy, Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Prada, Miu Miu. All we care about is looks and how much money a man got. Women will never admit that when it comes to men because women are liars. But they know it's the truth, no matter how much they try to deny it. But I'm just here to tell you guys for the record, don't think that being a good person is going to get you far in life. And don't think that doing the right thing and trying to be this righteous individual is going to get you any rewards, because it's not. Because I used to think that there's some prize waiting on you being a good person. There is no prize waiting on you. The only thing that's waiting on you is getting abused, used, or in some instances, getting killed. That's what's waiting on you being a good person. There is no reward. See, growing up, I used to think that there's this big reward waiting on you, because they brainwash you to believe that, especially in church, that there's this big reward waiting on you because you're a good person, But in reality, the only reward that could be waiting on you is a bullet. That's what could be waiting on you, being a good person, going out of your way trying to be this nice and righteous, kind-hearted person. And that's what I had to learn. There is no reward in this world for being a good person. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being a good person, but just don't think that people are going to honor and respect you and that there's some prize waiting on you because you're a good person. Like I stated, when you aspire to be a good person, people think you're soft. They think you're weak. And I see it more than ever. In this wicked, corrupted world we live in, it's better to be an evil person than to be a good person. But you guys have a great day. My grandparents, they was the main ones always instilling that in me, being a good person. But I see that they were wrong by telling me that, because there is no reward in this life. There's no reward in this life being a good person. I think they were just telling me that because they didn't want to see me go down the wrong path. But that's been my message for now. Leave your comments. Let me know if there's any other topics you would like me to talk about. And you guys have a good Tuesday. And I will talk to you soon.